Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Winging It with Issy. My name is Issy. Happy Father's Day to our fathers out there. God bless you for your labor of love, for your sacrifices, for your support, your encouragement. God bless you so much, and you will definitely reap the rewards of your labor. So today I'm going to be talking to our first-time fathers. So, well, whether you're a first-time father, second-time father, fourth or fifth-time father, there's always something to learn. Probably by the time you get to 5 or 6, you're already like a guru, bisa, but just take the time and listen to this. And if you know of anyone who is a first-time dad or is about to be a father, feel free to share this video with them. We are all learning. So, all the tips I'm going to be sharing with you guys today are from Ghanaian men. So I spoke to 6 men, Ghanaians, and asked them to share with me some of the, I don't know if I should call it advice or tips, or just share with me how husbands, how fathers can support their wives once they both have a newborn baby. And it's likely this video is going to be in 2 parts because they did give me a lot of information. So let's get started. So you've just delivered, you and your wife have just delivered. What next? What do you do? First of all, you need to assure your wife that she's not alone. She's not going to be doing this alone. And also, your prayers and your support and your presence in the labor room is very, very crucial. So being there with her so that at least she knows that she's not alone. The two of you are in it together. You actually see what she's going through. And I know a lot of men who have said that being in the labor room help them to appreciate their wife 1,000 times more, because birth is not a joke, labor is not a joke, delivery is not a joke. So if your wife is going to be delivering in a hospital where it's allowed to have somebody else in the labor room, please be there and support your wife. And then also, you being in the labor room with your wife, it helps you to lend her support in the form of perhaps rubbing her back. For some women, if they're in labor and you rub their back, it helps with the contractions. And then, or if she needs to have ice packs put at her back, you are there to help with that. For me, it was a great comfort for my husband to be beside me the entire time, because I was scratching him, like I was just clawing at him. Once a contraction begins, like I'm clawing at him, I'm hitting him. So it was nice to actually have him there, because sometimes I look back and I'm like, if he wasn't there, I don't know how I would have gone through it, you know. Like, I mean, there were supportive midwives. There was actually one midwife who my husband had to go and buy some medication, and so when he was leaving, she could tell I was scared, and then she was like, don't worry, I'm here. If you need to hit me, if you need to beat me, if you need to slap me, do it. And she was actually pregnant too, but she stood in for him while he went and then came back. So I really did appreciate that. So men, if you can be there in the room with your wife when she's in labor, please do so, and let her know that you're also praying with her. When they are discharged, please, if you have a car, go and pick them and drive them home. If you don't have the means to a car to drive them, then please pick an Uber or a taxi, but be with them. Don't stay at home or wherever and tell them that, oh, pick an Uber and come home. The support is 100% through and through. So go and pick them up from the hospital. They are your family members, they are your people, and then take them home. This is actually a very, very crucial one, an important one. Unfortunately, not a lot of companies in Ghana offer paternity leave. That's very sad. But you have your annual leave. So please, if you know your wife is expecting, let your company know in advance that, okay, my wife is due in October, so I'm going to take my leave in October. Once she delivers, I'm going to take my leave. Maybe if you have 25 days, you can choose to take maybe 15 days. So that's like 3 weeks, so that you are at home with them. And as they are both adjusting, you're also helping your wife, because your wife has been through a lot. You know, the labor process, the delivery process, as everyone says, is a life and death matter. And it takes a lot of weeks and months for them to fully recover emotionally, physically, mentally, everything. So if you can be home for as long a period as you can, please do. Now, the reason why I'm not saying take all of your leave is because maybe later in the year, maybe your wife has resumed work and for some reason the baby needs care, or your caregiver is not able to come in that day, or you have to take your baby for immunization and your wife cannot. At least you still have a few days of your leave left where you can use that to take care of whatever emergency situation it may be. So if your company offers paternity leave, like what most women do, they add their maternity leave to their annual leave and then take all at once. So if your company offers paternity leave, try and do that, so that at least you are at home for a much longer time, and that is a great support to your wife and your baby. Now, African mentality. I know that the mentality of African men, the traditional mentality of African men, is that the woman does everything. So you've given birth, you come home, it's your duty to take care of the baby, it's your duty to still cook, it's your duty to still wash, it's your duty to still clean, do everything in the house. We are in the 21st century. This one is not even coming from me, it's coming from a father, a Ghanaian father, saying that you need to get rid of that African mentality. The two of you made this baby together. You had this baby together. So get rid of that mentality and help around the house. And I don't, honestly, personally, I don't like to call it help, because we are both living in the house. We are both hungry and eating. We are both making the house dirty. So why should it be called help? Or maybe you're helping each other, but if you're saying it to the woman and you're not using the word help, then don't say it to the man and use the word help, because I know I'll catch fire for saying this, but maka. So please remember that. Now you've given birth, your wife, I like saying that to men actually, you've given birth, because both of you gave birth. Yes, the woman did the greater part of the work, but you were both pregnant, you both gave birth. So you've given birth, wife and baby are home, or wife and babies are home if you had a multiple birth. Now, depending on the mode of delivery for the woman, as a man, you need to help her. So if you had a cesarean, I can speak to cesarean because I had a cesarean. So if your wife had a cesarean, you are not allowed to lift anything heavier than your baby. And you're not allowed to lift, like, you can't even bend to even lift, and you shouldn't. So as a man, you should be around to help with that. So help with lifting and even picking the baby out of the cot. A lot of times my husband was doing that. Once he starts crying, he will pick him out, because the amount of time it would take me to get out of the bed with all that pain and pick him up, he would have been crying for a while. So once he starts crying, he would pick him up and then bring him to me. Then I breastfeed him. One of the aftercare tips is also helping to bath your wife, because first 2 weeks after a cesarean, it's not a joke. And you know you're not supposed to get the scar infected, or it's not supposed to get wet. So it's a tremendous help for you to help bath your wife, just so that the scar stays dry. And then also in dressing the wound needs to be dressed every day. And then maybe bringing her food in bed. First 3 weeks there, treat her like an egg. Okay, she's been through a lot and she's still trying to find her way around, just like the way you are trying to find your way around being a father. So please and please. Now, I was talking about food. If you do not know how to cook, and you have not learned how to cook, and all you know how to do is to boil water, please, sakra usubine. Try and learn. This came from one of the other fathers I spoke with. Try and learn how to cook before she even gives birth, you know, in the months leading up to delivery. Try and learn a few dishes here and there so that you help your wife, because in the first few weeks you wanted to go and stand there and be cooking, unless she really wants to. But if you could learn a few, some egg stew kakra, some chicken stew kakra, light soup is the simplest you can make, you know, so that it also relieves her of that burden of thinking of what to cook for you guys to eat. House chores, do a greater part of it. If you have the means to pay somebody to come and clean the house weekly, then by all means go ahead and do that. But if you're not in that financial space, if you're not in that space, then the advice is do a lot of it. Scrubbing the bathroom, cleaning the toilet, cleaning the louvers, like cleaning the house in general. Take up that responsibility, a greater part of that responsibility. If you were not already doing so, if you're already doing so, I mean, then it's not a big deal. But if you're not already doing so, please start doing that, and let it continue even after a year of birth. The two of you are the ones living in the house, so that responsibility should not fall on your wife alone. If it's an agreement that you guys have, that's fine. You've divided who does what, that's fine. But even if you've already divided who does what, once she's given birth, take on her responsibility. It's a lot of work, I know, but she really needs the time to rest and recover. The bones have shifted, things have changed, and things are trying to go back. All the hormones that were pumped into her while she was pregnant, they are all leaving her body. So it's a lot to take in, but this is the time we really need you to be strong for the two of you so that you get through this phase together. Diaper change. Please, it's not only the mother who changes the diapers. I beg you. Now, I said I was going to intersperse this with some of my own experiences. So when I gave birth, my husband, he was the first person to actually change our baby's diaper. And afterwards, he was like, diaper change is his duty. So he was changing diapers like a pro, even before I became a pro at changing diapers. And even to date, he's over a year old, and whenever we are together, once his diaper needs to be changed, Richie just rises to the occasion and changes the diaper, which is something that I really appreciate right from the get-go, because that also relieves you of some pressure, you know. So learn how to change a diaper, and then if possible, take it upon yourself to be the king of diaper changing in the house, so that whenever the diaper needs to be changed, you change it. So guys, I'm going to end our video right here for now, otherwise it's going to be too long. So I will continue the remaining tips, advice in a separate video. And so please stay tuned. I'll bring that one to you shortly. And if I have left out any comments or any suggestions or any tips that you think should have featured in this video, please do not hesitate to write them down in the comment section. People will be reading, people will be watching, they'll be learning. Let's all learn together. Thank you so much. Once again, I would like to wish all our fathers a very happy Father's Day, and I'd like to give a special shout out to 3 incredible fathers that I know. Number 1, my daddy of life, my father. God bless you so much, Daddy, for being such a great support system in my Kokonsa partner. And also a happy Father's Day to Richard, my ever loving, ever supportive husband. God bless you so much for your love and for your support. And also to my brother of life, Ebo, happy Father's Day. God bless you so much. So until I see you in part 2, bye.